championship game, won 21 of 23. Notre Dame, their last 4 games, under 40% from the faceoff X. Here's Kavanaugh, almost made quick work in the opening seconds of this NCAA. This is a slower opening possession than we're used to with Utah. Who would like to push the pace throughout this game. Great save, Entenmann read it the whole way.
Yeah, that's a great first take.
On the run, Riley Gray had a step and used it to open the scoring here in South Bend.
Just a strong 1v1 move by Riley Gray here.
Well, from Lake Klockner to a beautiful day in South Bend, 75 degrees here. Jules Henningberg, Jay Alter, highest scoring teams in the country. On the run, Chris Kavanaugh goes low and makes it 2-0 Irish.
Strong start for the Irish here. Great sweep there by Griffin Westland, and then he sets a screen which doesn't necessarily free Chris's hands, but just gives him a little bit more space for season. Yeah, no doubt indeed. And you can see it in the way that they play. They have such an edge this year and passion that's really driven by the Kavanaughs, but it's unbelievable how hard those guys play given last year.
Here's Pat Kavanaugh, so crafty. One of the best feeders in the sport. Gets another assist. This one to Jake Taylor. Pat Kavanaugh, who leads the country in assists, a Tewaaraton finalist, and Taylor, he's just your quintessential finisher for Notre Dame.
It's great to have a guy like Jake Taylor on your team who you know you could just throw the ball into and get assists. And watch Pat Kavanaugh here get into his left hand, and Taylor just settling into the green comfortably, but then gets to his left hand, which you don't see a ton out of Jake Taylor. But great job protecting his stick, and then on the run, just burying it off pipe.
Right now, if you're Utah, Jules.
If you're Utah, you just got to limit their hands free in the middle of the field right now. Notre Dame's doing a terrific job of just getting shots right in the middle. That makes it really hard for Lenskold. Force hard shots for Notre Dame.
It's too easy right now for the Irish. Jake Taylor again. What a start.
What a start indeed. And I was just mentioning, these are too easy of shots for Notre Dame right now and making it so difficult for Lenskold. You see Jake Taylor just slips the screen there. Poor communication. And just showing his mobility. He's a guy that's usually in front of the goal, but he's behind there in the two-man game and gets around, finishes that, absorbs the contact. Fantastic finish by Taylor there. That last second, he just tucks it to the near.
Do less. And so Corrigan said we want to keep the guys mentally and physically fresh. They have certainly looked that way to start this game. It rings in off the pipe. Riley Gray again. That's his second goal. And it is all Irish early.
They're just manhandling Utah right now. There's just nothing else you could say about that. I was on the field earlier before this game, and I saw Riley Gray. I was astonished how big he was when I was on the field. He just does a great job getting up the hash right there, not concerned at all about the Utah defender, and then just finishes it with his offhand to the far pipe. It's just way too easy for Notre Dame right now. Need to reel that in if they don't want this game to get too out of hand in the first quarter.
Arlotta Stadium has been home to some excellent crowds all season long. No different today. The hill is packed, rooting on the #3 team in this tournament. Jake Taylor, a first quarter trick for the senior out of Denver, Colorado. And those fans enjoying a spectacle. It's already 6-0.
I want to give a lot of credit to the Notre Dame coaching staff right now, because every single one of these goals has been scored in the front of the cage, and they're tough goals. They're not settling for these low-angle shots. They're drawing slides in the middle of the field and getting high-efficient scoring opportunities. That's what's making this Notre Dame offense so deadly right now. And Jake Taylor just settling into the green again, which he does so well, looking for the
all-ACC midfield body.
And if you're Utah's defense right now, you have to slide early and often.
Well, that's the first time Utah creates a turnover. Opening quarter for Utah.
Good. Keep him out.
McMahon double teamed, in trouble. Shot clock down to 5.
Don't let him breathe.
Entenmann off his line, scoops up the ground ball. And now Notre Dame got a touch. Straight to the cage, and it's 7-0 Notre Dame. Griffin Westland.
Watch Westland just get underneath there. Utah looked like they want to slide, but they weren't quite sure. But again, they have to start going here. This is just way too easy for Westland. He sees that no one's coming. I'm going to get to my strong hand underneath and just finish that.
Credit Will Lynch, the sophomore, who has really dominated the faceoff X in this first quarter. And it has just been one-way traffic. And Notre Dame has cashed in on it. It's too easy! Ross Bergmaster, the long pole. He's known as the bagpiper, who we watched walk out earlier today, and now he's in the score sheet with a goal.
Notre Dame showing off that they can play a little bit of that sub game too. 3 long poles down there, and Bergmaster just showing his finesse on the crease. The Notre Dame lacrosse team, just such a tight-knit community here at Notre Dame.
Cole Brams wins the faceoff for Utah. That's only his second win of the day. Notre Dame so dominant at the faceoff X, and it was make it, take it lacrosse for much of that opening 15 minutes. Diving in, Carson Moyer finally puts Utah on the board.
And look, Jay, sometimes one player just needs to step up and make a play. Carson Moyer here just takes his man one-on-one. He says, enough's enough. I'm going to stop the bleeding. Let's get this game going. Phenomenal one-on-one effort here. Just protecting his stick the entire way, never giving his Notre Dame defender a chance to get.
And here's Brams gaining some momentum, goes right to goal. Did it trickle in? Still waiting for the official signal. Entenmann saying he kept it out. And they say play on. Vantage point, impossible to tell if it crossed the line or not, but those are the ones you need if you're Utah trying to come back from 8 goals down. Entenmann takes a big hit. Ball's loose. Flags flying. And this will be a free possession for Utah as Entenmann scurries back into his cage. And it leads to a goal! Tyler Bradbury! This is more like it for Utah. The chaotic style, the turnover, and the goal.
Here we go. Let's go, Utah. Turning it on now. Look at that hit. clean by Joey Bolston. And then in transition, this is the chaotic style that Utah wants to play. And just leaving Liam Entenmann out there to dry after that big hit, that's really tough to soak that hit, get back in the cage, and then make that stop.
And just think, if that ball had trickled across the line, it would be 3 in a row for Utah, with the Utes playing a player up, momentum shifting in this second quarter. You do wonder what happened in that first quarter for Utah, because this is what we expected the Utes to play like.
Take the ball out, settle 6-on-6.
Back to even strength, and excellent job to keep it in. MJ McMahon.
Wow, that was a phenomenal ground ball by MJ McMahon. Super nifty.
Both of these teams excellent in the ground ball game, and that extra possession, McMahon kept it alive, and Andriella cashes in for Utah. That's 3 in a row for the Utes.
And Andriella just, after this ground ball, wow. McMahon just...
How did he keep that in?
I have no idea. And Andriella just a great right-to-right move, getting to the middle of the field, which Notre Dame...
This year, ACC Goal of the Year, 56%, which is a really good stat. He's 56% on his career, so while he's having a really good year, he's had a really good career for Notre Dame.
Yeah, and he's showcasing today why he's really the best goalie in the country, just making every save he's supposed to make and then a couple extra.
There's that Notre Dame ride, causing the ground ball. Utah recovers. Ride should make for a lot of fun ground balls. Coming up after us, Yale and Georgetown. That'll be an outstanding game as Utah comes inches away from adding another. We'll talk about Yale and Georgetown coming up at halftime, as well as Maryland and Arkansas decides to smartly slow things down and hand off to Pat Kavanaugh, who steps on the gas. Great save, Lenscold.
Kavanaugh wants that one back.
Andriella, he's got a goal to his name. Not a great angle, and Entenmann hugged that pipe to make the save.
Yeah, not a great angle, as you said there, Jay. You don't want to settle for those shots down the alley. That's what Lenscold got on the other side. We want to see more of those shots in the middle that they've been doing a better job of.
This is where he is so dangerous. Leads the country in assists. Look at the shot clock. This one, he takes himself. Pat Kavanaugh makes it 9-3 Notre Dame.
Pat just showing his patience, his high IQ. This is why he's one of, if not the best player in the country. He gets upfield and gets a subtle pick right there. Was waiting on that from number 3. A moving screen by number 2, Fulton Bayman there. He did a good job of turning his back and trying to settle his feet, but if you're setting a screen in lacrosse, you can't be moving at all whatsoever. You have to be still as a statue.
Utah trying to use that sub game. Quick shot, red back. The rope unit of Will Donovan, Jose Boyer, Ben Ramsey, Nick Harris has been excellent.
The depth.
Yeah, exactly. We have seen that in this first half, a 9-3 lead. To reload the attack with 2 minutes remaining in this first half.
Eric Dobson hasn't even scored a goal yet.
The brother connection. Chris finds Pat. And the Kavanaugh connection makes it 10-3 Notre Dame. There's Mom Mary Kavanaugh. Mother's Day weekend, nothing better than a brother-to-brother goal.
You see the smile on her face. This is chemistry built in the backyard right there. Chris just doing a phenomenal job drawing the slide with his head up, not letting the slide get to his hands, rolling away right there. Enough room to feed the ball, and then Pat just following ever so. But now knowing, talking to Coach Corrigan about that, talking to Matt a little bit about it, definitely reaffirms that she's the one that brings that passion, has that edge that you see the Kavanaugh brothers compete with every single time they step on the field.
The extra pass from Pat Kavanaugh finds Jake Taylor. Taylor's 4th goal of this first half, and it's 3 in a row for the Irish to close this second quarter strongly.
They have an edge, but they also look out for others. That's why he's such a good feeder. Watch back here. He could settle and take this shot. Pat, right there, he could have shot that ball, but instead he's got his head up. He's looking to get everyone involved in the offense. And Taylor, who, from my...
Great ground ball from Will Donovan, all ACC long stick midfielder. Just a freshman, and it leads to a goal! Notre Dame pouring it on at the end of this first half. Ben Ramsey, another all-ACC player on this Notre Dame roster. Yeah, this is more like it for an Irish team that went 13 minutes without scoring between the end of the first quarter and the start of the second.
And I know the Irish have a 52-second adjusted rate for how fast they play in terms of their pace in the country, but when they want to go, they go. And you see it here. The best teams have a balance between the both. They know when to slow it down, but they also know when to turn the gas on. You see Tevlin does it right there and finds Ramsey, another unselfish play. And you're seeing those all over the field. Ramsey just settles into the green again. Really high IQ stuff off ball.
So a commanding 9-goal lead as we start this second half. And Will Lynch picks up where he left off. Dominant in the face-off X in that first half, but Utah wins it back. Dangerous in transition. Chris Fake putting his body on the line to deflect it. We've talked a lot about Notre Dame's offensive prowess.
Their ability to deal with the chaos that Utah is trying to throw at them. They do such a good job of recognizing the situation, whether they're subbing, whether they notice that there's something in the gray that's happening. Everyone locks in and says, where's your man, do your job.
Taylor picks out the corner again. His 5th goal. And we are just starting this third quarter. Jake Taylor has already tied a Notre Dame NCAA tournament record. One more, and he would stand alone at the top.
And Taylor, yet again, just so good at the subtle movement. What I mean by subtle is he doesn't have to move 100 miles an hour to get open. He's just moving in a 3-yard radius and just settles in. Great screen inside there to free him up, and then catches, buries it, puts it right. With the quick ground ball around the back, that would have been wild.
Well, when you get up by 10, you can play with some more freedom, right?
Start feeling yourself a little bit.
Right on cue! Make it an 11-goal lead for the Irish. Jalen Seymour piling it on Utah in this first round.
Start feeling yourself a little bit, but stick to the fundamentals. That's what Notre Dame's done all game long. Just sweeping over the top, getting to the middle. Another no-slide opportunity by Utah, which is just completely unimaginable at this point. You have to go if you're getting your hands free in the middle of the field.
Riley Gray on the run. Bouncer flies to the back of the net. Riley Gray, a hat trick to the seniors' name, and it is 15-3 Notre Dame.
Riley Gray, he's got a lot of confidence around that low wing area with his left hand. He's just too big, too strong for these Utah defenders. Once he lowers his shoulder there, he gets that little bit of separation that he needs, and then coming up the hash just does a really good job.
That's the big question. Can this be the team that finally brings that first national championship back to South Bend? They've certainly played like it so far this first round. Pat Kavanaugh showing why he's a Tewaaraton finalist. He may just go on and win the thing if he keeps playing like this.
Another opportunity generated by Notre Dame, scoring opportunity in the middle of the field. It just seems like all their shots they're getting are directly in the middle, and that's the easiest shot to score if you're an offensive player, but the hardest shot to stop if you're Colin Leskold. And the Utah defense is just leaving him on an island and having people like a Tewaaraton finalist in Pat Kavanagh's utility that they have at a guys. Another guy, Tevlin, who can get stops on defense like he is right here, but then pick up the ground ball and push transition.
Right on cue. Here comes Notre Dame. They've got numbers. Will Donovan couldn't get the hands free with the long ball. This is what we expected, more back and forth. This is a style that Utah has played all season, and they just really never found that rhythm. Got the spark in the second measuring stick, right, for all the guys coming back. You know what the best of the best is in an NCAA tournament game now. You're experiencing it for the first time.
And everyone's kind of got to go through this process.
Big time goal on the run. Andriella notches his second of the afternoon. 22 minutes in between goals for Utah.
Strong take by Jared Andriella here, getting to his right hand, trying to keep Utah in this as much as possible. Getting to 4. First one at 6. Taking those two, so it just puts really a damper on Utah in terms of just their confidence and their risk-taking at the end of the day. So you just see they're a little bit more flat. They don't have the pop that they usually have.
Entenmann 9 saves now. Outlet pass that takes one bounce in front of Quinn McCann. Pat Kavanaugh tried to thread the needle. Here's Chris Kavanaugh. 5 seconds on the shot clock, 10 left in the quarter. Tried to scoop it over to Westland. Nice defensive stop to end this third quarter for Utah, but this game, all Notre Dame. And Utah beats the buzzer to end the third quarter. The positives have been few and far between, but that's a big one for the Utes. And it's the freshman Ryan Steins, the ASUN Freshman of the Year. It's been quiet today, but a great goal to finish this third quarter.
Great finish here by Ryan Steins, giving the Utes that punch that they needed to finish the quarter.
Utah with 3. Then Notre Dame responded with another 8-0 run. And now Utah has once again scored 3 in a row. Almost 4 in a row, inches away there. Entenmann bailed out by the pipe. Going back to the comments we showed you coming out of the commercial break to start the fourth quarter for Paul Carcaterra and Quint Kesnick on last year's selection show. You know, that fuel can't be understated.
At Notre Dame, including Matt Kavanaugh, who was my former teammate. He's now in the Boston Cannons, but brother of Pat and Chris Kavanaugh.
Off the heel of Chris Fake. That's the second time his body has gotten in the way. Entenmann to the rescue again. He has made some spectacular saves in this opening round matchup.
He is truly as
nothing early, but they have not backed down in this matchup. Give this team a ton of credit. Only their 4th full season of playing men's lacrosse at the Division I level. making the tournament for the first time in school history. Plenty to be proud of, but today just not their day. Jeffrey Ricciardelli adds another for Notre Dame, and with the 17th goal being scored for the Irish, that is a program record. Most goals scored in a tournament game for Notre Dame men's lacrosse.
And Jeffrey Ricciardelli here, just doing a great job off of the Jack Simmons feed, but cutting behind the defense there. And what I loved about this cut is he doesn't do it too early, so he ends up on the top of the crease. He times it up perfectly, so when he catches the ball, he has room to catch.
Have come against the same opponent, the Virginia Cavaliers. They advanced earlier today with a win against Richmond. They would be lined up to play in the semifinal on championship weekend. Tough to beat a team 3 times in a season, but yet Virginia's looked so convincing against this Notre Dame team. Chris Kavanaugh adds another.
Wow, he just made that look way too casual for me. And I think it might be time for Chris to head to the bench. His day should be over.
You said 18 was the magic number, right?
Yeah, watch here. He's got the short stick matchup on him, first of all, which is Utah's in trouble. Just catches it with his feet moving, drops his hands, and just whips it off his hip to that back pipe. Beautiful shot.
And for Utah, a magical season. 10 minutes left in it. You win the ASUN championship. You make the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. A program that's really still in its infancy, only 4 years old. Or 5 years old, but only 4 full seasons because of the COVID year. Griffin Westland, a flamethrower, 19-6 Irish. This Notre Dame team is not slowing down.
Griffin Westland, former Seton Hall prep player, my alma mater.
Have to get that in there.
Have to get that in there. I remember watching him do this time and time again at Seton Hall, just getting up to his left hand. Attackman converted to midfield, really slick around that mid-wing area, getting up the hash and just sticks it.
Weaving through traffic, Zepp right onto the field, and he makes the save.
There's nothing better than that when you have a goalie in change, and right away he gets a shot, makes a save. You just love to see that out of your backup. Just it's such a rewarding feeling, knowing how hard.
Here at South Bend, we might have to get into a little Redwood season preview. Big draft earlier this week in the PLL. Another save for Zepp. Big outlet as well. The second stringers running and gunning, make it 20! Taking the cage out too. It's all Notre Dame in this opening round game. Fulton Bayman of a great outlet after the save. And it is just Notre Dame's day.
Before this game, Jay, I was watching Fulton Bayman dodging up, getting shots up, working so hard for about 40 minutes on his own. And I talked to some of the guys and say he's one of the hardest working guys on the team. 30 minutes before practice, 30 minutes after. And that speaks to really where this Notre Dame program is right now. And they go up 20-6. And sometimes that's what you need. You need that benchmark. Notre Dame's been here before. They're battle tested. They've had a ton of opportunities to play in the NCAA tournament and get to championship weekend.
Great goal on the run. It's a hat trick for Jared Andriella, the junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. So he'll be back. A lot of these players will be back. A lot of juniors and below on this Utah team. Andriella's one of them.
And championships aren't built overnight. And having guys like Jared Andriella coming back with this experience, you see here just getting topside on a pole too, showing his confidence, bearing that.
This is just game number 2, so 6 still to come in this opening round action of the men's lacrosse tournament. 2 minutes left in South Bend. What has impressed you most about Notre Dame today?
I think just their balance across the...
An 8-0 opening quarter and a 20-7 win, commanding for the Irish. And Notre Dame headed to the quarterfinal with a real belief that this is the year that Kevin Corrigan gets his national championship.
It felt different today. You could see it in their eyes, specifically Liam Entman, just a vengeance. They're out to win this thing.
Still 3 more games to go.